China built the equivalent of a new chip factory every 3 days last year. America built 0 new fabs at scale. And Elon Musk just announced he's spending $25 billion to produce hundreds of billions of chips himself, because he no longer trusts anyone else to supply him. This is not a tech story. This is a war over who controls the infrastructure of artificial intelligence. And by the time this video ends, you'll understand why America is already losing it. For 2 years, the AI story was told as a software race. Better models, smarter algorithms, faster code. That was the story. The one that got the headlines, the one everyone repeated. But the real race was never in the code. It was in the factory, in the supply chain, in the silicon. And right now, the world is running out of it faster than it can produce it. The demand for chips is compounding at a rate the global supply chain was simply not designed to handle. And the country that controls the supply of chips doesn't just lead in AI. It decides who gets access to it, who can scale it, and who gets cut off entirely. Think about how America built its technological edge over the last 50 years. Design in California, fabrication in Taiwan, packaging in Malaysia, equipment from the Netherlands. That system was optimized for one thing: efficiency, and it worked beautifully in a world where chips were commercial products. But chips are no longer commercial products. They are strategic assets. And when strategic assets become scarce, the world stops behaving like a market. It starts behaving like a battlefield. America's share of global semiconductor manufacturing has fallen from 37% in 1990 to under 12% today. A single TSMC fab in Hsinchu produces more advanced chips than all US fabs combined. Every link in America's supply chain is someone else's territory, someone else's decision, someone else's leverage. A policy change in the Netherlands, a typhoon in Taiwan, a political crisis in Malaysia. Any one of those events, on any given day, can break the most advanced technology supply chain in human history. That is not strength. That is a single point of failure wearing the mask of a superpower. And no country understood that vulnerability earlier, or moved faster to exploit it, than China. While the West was optimizing for efficiency, China was optimizing for survival. Here is what that actually looks like in practice. China looked at the global chip supply chain 20 years ago and saw what America did not want to admit. It saw choke points, advanced lithography machines, the equipment that physically prints circuits onto silicon, controlled almost entirely by one Dutch company. ASML. One company, one country, one choke point that, if closed, could freeze an entire national technology ecosystem overnight. ASML refused export licenses for its EUV machines to China 47 times between 2019 and 2024, under direct US pressure. China saw all of this and made a decision. Dependence is a strategic liability, so it began building a completely different kind of semiconductor future. Not the fastest, not the most advanced, but the most resilient. It doubled down on mature node production where global demand is still enormous. It invested in building domestic equipment companies from scratch. Slower, yes, but impossible to sanction. And it focused on advanced packaging, a technique for stacking chips together to extract more performance without needing the bleeding edge of fabrication. Then America sanctioned it, cut off access to the most advanced chips, blocked ASML exports. The logic was clean: limit the tools and you limit the outcome. Starve them of the best technology and you freeze their progress. But China didn't collapse. It adapted. It widened the battlefield entirely. China's domestic chip equipment spending grew 42% in 2024 alone, the fastest rate of any country ever. That is not sanctions working. That is sanctions accelerating exactly what they were designed to stop. Because here is what the entire sanctions narrative missed completely. China didn't just build around the restrictions. It looked ahead at what chips Musk, Google, Microsoft, and every major AI lab would need next, and started building that supply chain domestically. High bandwidth memory, HBM, The chip type that feeds AI training at the speeds large language models actually require, not a peripheral component, the core of every AI data center on the planet. CXMT, a Chinese company most people have never heard of, now producing HBM3 samples. Targeting mass production in 2026, competing directly with Samsung and SK Hynix, the two companies that currently supply almost all the world's AI memory. CXMT announced a $7 billion HBM memory ramp in 2025, targeting the exact chip type powering every AI data center on the planet, without a single ASML machine. That is China's secret weapon, not a faster GPU, not a better model. Control of the memory chips that every AI system on Earth depends on to function. And it is closer to reality than almost anyone in Washington is willing to say out loud. Now here is where the story gets personal. Because the most powerful private figure in technology just made a move that tells you exactly how seriously the people closest to this problem are taking it. Elon Musk is building Terafab, not a new AI model, not a new company, a chip factory. A single, vertically integrated system, design, fabrication, and packaging all controlled inside one chain, designed to produce hundreds of billions of chips every year. To put that in context, TSMC, the world's largest chip manufacturer, produces roughly 13 billion chips per year. Terafab is targeting 20x that output. Think about the signal inside that decision. When someone operates at Musk's scale, with access to the best supplier contracts, the deepest private capital, the most sophisticated procurement teams in the world, and still concludes they cannot trust the existing system to meet their future needs. That is not a business bet. That is a warning. It means the normal supply chain is no longer capable of keeping pace with what is coming. But here's the specific threat driving that decision. It is not just that TSMC sits 90 miles from the Chinese coastline. It is not just that ASML can withdraw export licenses overnight. It is that China has already identified the exact chips AI needs most and is actively building the domestic supply chain to control them. If CXMT succeeds with HBM at scale, the AI memory supply chain, the blood that every large language model runs on, becomes Chinese-controlled. Not partially, decisively. That is what Terafab is really about. Not efficiency. Not scale for its own sake. Sovereignty. The ability to keep building when the global system is weaponized against you. The ability to run AI at full speed even if every foreign supplier shuts the door at once. Here is why the timeline matters more than most people realize. AI is no longer a niche technology. It is becoming infrastructure. The same way electricity is infrastructure, the same way roads are infrastructure. It is moving into defense, into finance, into healthcare, into logistics, into manufacturing. Entire economies are being restructured around it right now. And infrastructure has one rule that consumer products do not. It cannot go offline. It does not just need to exist. It needs to scale reliably, continuously, and under pressure. Every day. Without interruption. The moment it fails, everything built on top of it fails with it. Which means chips, the silicon AI runs on, are no longer just components in a supply chain. They are the new oil. And just like oil in the 20th century, the countries that control the supply of chips will hold leverage over every country that does not. Access to compute will not be evenly distributed. Some militaries will run AI-powered systems at full capacity. Others will be waiting in a queue for chips they cannot manufacture from a supplier they cannot pressure at a price they have no power to negotiate. This is not a technology forecast. It is a geopolitical forecast, and unlike oil, you cannot discover a new deposit of advanced semiconductors. You have to build the industrial capacity to produce them, from scratch, over years, which is exactly what China has been doing for 2 decades, and what America is now scrambling to start. China didn't wait for a fork in the road. It identified the destination 20 years ago, started building the highway, got sanctioned, and built a second highway. America is now racing to build its first lane. with Elon Musk paying for most of it himself. The Silicon War isn't coming. It's already been fought. The question now is whether Terafab comes online fast enough, and whether China's HBM ramp gets there first. Whoever controls the memory chips that feed AI at scale controls AI. And right now, that race is closer than anyone in Washington wants to admit. China's next move is already in motion, and it targets Terafab's weakest point directly. I break down exactly what that is in this video right here.